This is the Easy on Me podcast. I'm Tiara.
I'm Oksana.
We all know that life be lifing.
Can't stop, won't stop.
We're just here to remind you to show yourselves a little bit of grace.
People always talk about going easy on them, but who's going to go easy on me?
Who's going to go easy on me?
We done got all the way off topic.
No, it's okay, because that's what we do. We're going to bring it back. I think it takes practice to not hold a grudge.
But is it holding a grudge when you just don't give a...
I guess not.
Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of the Easy on Me podcast. I'm Oksana.
My name's Tiara.
And this podcast is just about how life be lifing, can't stop, won't stop. Okay. Yeah, and we just talk about everything under the sun, literally, no matter what it is, good, bad, happy, or sad, you're going to hear it right here on this podcast.
So this episode is a very special episode. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and our guest today is here to just share her testimony of how she overcame that and hopefully encourage somebody who may be going through that currently or has experienced that. But first, I would like us to start it off on a lighter note and get into our what it is and what it ain't for the week. So that's something positive from your week, something negative. Who wants to go first? You going first, Oksana?
I'll go first. My what it is and what it ain't. Over the past month, or let's say a few weeks, we did get a break. I do like the fact we got a break.
Yes.
You know, to just like woosah. In the dating world, I'm kind of feeling it. Your girl been going out on dates and stuff, and like that's a big what it is for me. Okay. I don't really have a what it ain't. I don't have a what it ain't.
First of all, we gonna pause the what it is and what it ain't. Porsha is here. We didn't even say your name. We didn't even give you a chance to introduce yourself. So would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Porsha Daniels.
Yes. All right. Yeah. So we got Porsha here. So what it is? So you said your dating world is live.
Yeah, it's live. Oh, what it ain't is how I got a flat and my car got towed in the same week.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, oh Lord is right. And I got an oil leak. It's just a lie. I lied. I got a lot of what it ain't. But I'm gonna get it together. I'm gonna get it together. Okay.
So Porsha, you want to share anything positive from your week?
I could say the positive in my week has been since I'm a new stylist, I've been getting a lot of clientele. So
okay,
that's a good thing.
We love clientele.
Go ahead and shout out your page where they can find you.
Oh yeah,
at.
you can find me on Amina Styles P. I do locks and braids, so just go ahead and follow me on there and follow from my main page, Honey Kush Smiley.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Book with your girl. Thank you.
No, for real. So what it is, y'all, I saw Beyonce this past weekend. Did you go?
No, I ain't go, but I saw everything.
Yeah. Woo! People was posting a full concert anyway. Oh,
yeah. Right.
But I saw Beyonce. I went to both shows.
Oh, yeah. She cussed up at them shows.
I was like, this is amazing. And just seeing her, like where she's come from to where she is now, like her work ethic, it's like, it inspires me.
She always says that. And I love that for you that you were able to go to both shows.
Yeah,
I think she's insane, but that's why I love her, because she went to both shows.
Both shows. Okay.
You can't beat that.
Listen.
You had a blessed week.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That was the highlight of my week. Really both weeks, because one was Saturday, one was Sunday.
Girl, bye. So technical.
All right, so we can just get into it. So we really want to give you an opportunity to share your story. I kind of want to start from the beginning of how. So how long ago were you in a domestic abuse relationship?
I was in a domestic violence abuse relationship. Maybe 8 years ago.
8 years ago.
Okay.
So,
that's when it started.
That's when
you started. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's when it started. I maybe was like 24 years old.
So you not too
young.
far from that was
young.
That was young.
I'm 34. Well, yeah, that's what like it's going on 9 years. So it's about
Wow.
I was like 23,
Wow.
24.
So you were young going
Yeah,
through that.
I was very young.
So was the person you were with, was he older than you?
Yes, he was older than me. He was a little
Okay.
older than me, maybe like 3 or 4 years older than me.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So he
Not.
wasn't like no. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
yeah, he wasn't that old.
Yeah.
But he was institutionalized. Like he was a person that been in jail. That was my
Yeah.
first time dating someone that been in jail. Though that was the first time, so I didn't really know the
So
ropes of that.
you
Gotcha.
dated him like when he got out or while he was.
No, I actually met him when he came home. Like I
Oh,
guess
okay.
he had been in jail since he was like 18 or whatever, and he had came home when he was 26.
Oh,
When I met
dang.
him, he was freshly home.
Yeah.
So pretty much out. I think he had told me he has did like 7 years flat or whatever. So he kind of missed his adulthood and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Right.
because that mean he was in there like as a teenager.
He went in there right after graduation.
Oh
Wow. So he didn't
wow.
have any time out like to be on his own.
Get a
Man.
chance to experience life on the free world.
Right. And how did, if you don't mind me asking, how did y'all meet? Like,
We actually met through my dad. I was working in my dad's clothing shop, and he was his mom and my dad was friends.
right.
Whatever. So he ended up coming up there to see my dad one day, and he ended up coming in there. And you know how you just lock eyes with a guy, or whatever.
Right.
And that was kind of how that happened with us. Like I just kept looking at him, he just kept looking at me, and he had ended up asking my daddy like who I was, and my dad was like, that's my daughter, and he was like, oh, I didn't know you had a older daughter. You know what I'm saying? My daddy was like, yeah, I got a couple of older girls and stuff like that, and so he ain't too much just say nothing right then. He kind of waited till it was time to end up the store ended up closing or whatever, and he ended up kind of like can I get your number and stuff like that. He was real charming. That's what I actually can say.
I was gonna
That's what I want to
ask.
know. Like, was
Yeah.
it?
He
Was
was
he
very
charming?
charming. Yeah, he was very charming. Like he stayed smiling. He was real sweet. So that's kind of like what kind of got me.
That's what got you. Okay, that's
Yeah.
understandable.
Understandable. So when did you notice like a transition? Like when did you, what red flags did you notice
Ooh.
in the relationship?
Okay, like maybe in the second month of us actually being together. Maybe in the
Okay.
second month of us being together, because like it kind of started off. How you meet someone and they kind of bring you flowers, bring you lunch. Because he was always coming to my job. He was always bringing me flowers. He always was bringing me lunch, bringing me bears. So it was just like, okay, I've never had this attention before.
Right, right.
So to me, it's sweet. You know what I'm saying?
And it was in that moment
it was,
until it
but then it
changed.
got to a point where he's coming every day, and he's kind of like sitting up in there, and like so yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it was like a distraction too.
Oh.
Like, okay.
It was cute
It
at
was
first.
cute, but you know what I'm saying. But all day, so that
It
Yeah.
was kind of suffocating. Like
Yeah.
you trying to watch.
Watch
it
over
was,
you.
it was very, very. It got to a point where it was kind of scary. You know
Right.
What I'm saying? Because
Oh
you can't really
wow.
do much,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you got someone watching you.
Yeah.
So, I could say like in the second month of that, we kind of started staying together and stuff like that. And I started to see the change because he wanted me around all the time, and if I went to work, he was going with me.
Oh.
It was kind of like
Wait.
that type of relationship.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what? What you about to say?
Yes.
Cause I mean,
That's
if he just getting
possessive.
out, he don't even really know how to date or be
Yeah,
with the woman
yeah.
for real.
And that was his thing. Like I was his first girlfriend. I was actually his first relationship with a girl. Like,
Right.
He had, of course he dated
Younger.
girls or whatever, but he had never been in a relationship with nobody. So it was like I was his first relationship, with serious relationship.
Yeah.
So
And he didn't know. He didn't
and,
know what to
he didn't
do.
really too much. He was learning.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? As a woman, like, we like the attention, and we feel
Yes.
that, okay, if a man showing us that type of attention, then okay, he all for us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But we forgetting what comes along with that.
Yes.
Something coming along with that that's not really good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's why, you know what? I honestly don't think I would want anyone that obsessed with me because they could probably turn out.
Right.
And a lot of times it does. It'll start off like that, then it just builds and builds and builds.
Into something
That's true.
worse. Wow.
So, when was I want to kind of take it back to your childhood a little bit before we push
Okay.
forward. So, did you see domestic violence like growing up in your household with your parents?
I most definitely did. I seen it a lot with my mom, and it's kind of like that's how I kind of felt that it was okay, with being
Oh,
with
yeah.
someone, and if they putting their hands on you, because I saw my mama go through that,
Mhm.
and she still stayed,
Right.
Mhm.
cause she also fought back, but she still stayed. Like she
Mhm.
never gave up on this person that she loved. You get
Right.
what I'm saying? So, to me, I'm thinking it's okay. Okay,
Yeah.
this is what love looks like.
Mhm.
So it was kind of like what I say, a generation curse.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So it was a recycle of it
Yeah.
happening again.
Yeah, because the kids, as children, we do watch our parents, and their relationship kind of has a big role in how we handle relationships today. So I could
Definitely.
definitely understand that.
And the thing about me, I love hard. So, and he knew that. Like, I love hard. When I get with somebody, I'm with them. I'm loyal to them.
Right.
It's all about them. And I think that kind of was rubbing off on him, too. So, he wanted to also give that back to me. But I don't think he actually knew how to give
He
it
didn't
back.
know
Yeah.
He
how.
didn't know.
He didn't know how to give it back. But, without the possession of me being belonging to him.
Right,
Right.
right. And then, like you said, only 2 months.
Yeah.
Was
Only
was-
2 months because
That's fast.
that's real fast.
that was real fast. It
Did
really
anybody in your family say, "Hey, you moving too fast"? Like when y'all were talking about moving together?
was. No, not really.
No.
No, not really. When I actually got introduced to his mom, like, she liked me and stuff like that. So it was like everything was cool.
Mhm.
Everybody saw that, okay, we good. Everybody saw us being happy.
Mhm.
So nobody really never really just was like, I don't think y'all should, do this or move
Yeah.
too fast.
Yeah.
So we never just actually had that type of energy, and we just speaking on when in the beginning.
Yeah.
We just speaking on the beginning. But I can go back to like the first encounter. And the first encounter was probably like maybe, let's say 2 months, maybe like 3 weeks after that 2 months.
Mhm.
When the first encounter, when he first hit me, and it was, we was headed to his mama house. I was in the car, and I'll never forget that because we was arguing about something, and it was about like LeBron and Kobe. It was something like that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Nothing
it wasn't
serious.
nothing serious, but it was something as far as, because I love basketball, so it was something in that making. But I don't remember exactly what I said, but I remember saying something back as I was talking back.
Mhm.
And, it's the freedom of speech. I'm a woman. I'm say what I feel.
Right. And plus, it's about basketball.
Basketball.
So you're not thinking none of it.
I think I struck a nerve at that time, because it just like, he just caught me off guard, and
Yeah.
he just hit me in my face. So, I kind of just like, wow, he just hit me dead in my mouth, and I couldn't believe it. Like, I was just really just stunned. I just stood there, like, in the car while we driving. I'm just grabbed my face. So I was like, okay. We pulled up to his mom's house. That kind of like the first thing I end up telling her.
Mhm.
I ended up calling her out there, and I told her, and the first thing she was like, "What you do to him?" So right then I'm just
sorry.
like, okay.
What did you do?
Like, what?
That was
That
the
was her thing. Was,
reaction.
what did I do? Like, what did I do to him, or what did I say?
And a lot of, I'm sorry not to cut you off. A lot of people do that though. It's like they try to blame the
Right.
victim. What do you mean? Well, I ain't said nothing
Right.
for somebody to put their hands on me.
Right.
And again, we talking about basketball.
It's
So,
never
yeah,
that serious.
It's never that
for
serious.
basketball.
Yes.
So did he apologize?
Yes,
Like what did he
she
say?
ended up calling him outside. She ended up calling him outside or whatever, and she had ended up, kind of telling him about herself, like, why you doing this and stuff. The first thing she had said was, don't start doing that no more. Like, like he done it before.
Oh, so that's why she was asking that question, because she wasn't surprised that her
Right.
son had
She
did that.
Yeah, she wasn't surprised. It just, she knew, but I guess by being me or whatever, because like I felt that she liked me, so
Right.
I felt that's probably why she probably asked me, like, just to let me know or warn me, ahead of time or whatever the case may be. I'm just thinking that as far as why a woman would say that to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
No.
Oh my goodness.
But
So
he did end up apologizing in front of her. You know, he did apologize about it or whatever. So we, you know, I did accept it, and we did get past that at that moment.
So after the first encounter, how long was it to the next time? Like, because sometimes they might go a few months, or I've heard that before. They might go a few months and not do anything, and then it starts back up. Like, did it ever get to the point where it was like every day?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. It got to a point. So that's true. It did a little time pass, but we just saying not months. We talking about weeks. Just a little few weeks.
Oh wow.
A few weeks passed. We ended up getting a place of our own.
So y'all hadn't moved together yet when he did that?
No, we was just always, like I said, we was
together.
always together.
Okay.
So if I'm at my dad's house or whatever, he with me. If I'm at his mom's house, I'm with him. So we was always together. Like, we never was apart. So that, you know, like I said, it was like I couldn't really just too much get away.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like, okay, you have to be here. You know what I'm saying? Not saying he told me this, but this is what I was getting from him. So, but we did end up getting a place together, and it was crazy because it was like, okay, I'm starting fresh. I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? I got me a place, and I got me a car and stuff like that. I got me a job, so I got this good job, and I'm like, okay, well, this is how everything's finna play out. You get what I'm saying? So it was just like, okay, cool. We're gonna have what is called a housewarming.
Right.
We were supposed to have a housewarming, and it was just like that was like the worst day of my relationship because like I just saw everything about him, all his true colors that day. You know, so we end up planning this party at the house. He wanted to bring friends. Cool. You can bring who you want to bring. I'm okay with that. But when you inviting other women, I'm not okay with that.
In our house.
Right. That was my whole thing. Like,
right.
You know, I feel like that was very disrespectful.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because
absolutely.
I can see if you they coming with other spouses or something.
Right.
Like that, but no, that's not what the case was. So that was something that we end up getting into it about, and we get into it about it, and he knocked me out. Like, he knocked me out. Well, when you know somebody knock you out, you unconscious.
Right.
So as he knocked me out, I fell down the stairs. So I ended up falling down the stairs, and it was just like, once I woke up, I realized that
what had happened.
Yeah.
You know what happened? All I know is I'm bleeding. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
That's all I remember is I have blood running down my face. I had never remembered what actually had took place. So, boom. I end up leaving because I end up telling my auntie about it, what happened or whatever. The house we was renting from my auntie house, and I don't know what was going on, but I honestly felt like him and my auntie had some stuff going on to me. You know what I'm saying? Because she had actually told me I had to leave the property. So
after you got hit,
she had ended up telling me I had to leave the property, and I was just like, I gotta leave.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I gotta leave. We end up getting into it. She ended up calling the police on me, and I end up leaving that property. I packed everything. Like, I had to literally pack all my stuff. And my thing was this: if I'm leaving, he leaving too.
Right.
But she basically told him he didn't have to leave, and he did not leave.
But my thing is, so when the police came, he didn't get in trouble for.
No, because
you didn't report it.
I didn't report it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. This was just between me and her. So the police was only called because she wanted me off the property.
Right.
So in order to have me removed from the property, she called the police. So that's the only reason why the police was involved in the place. So yes, she ended up calling the police, and they had me to leave. But he ended up having a party and everything
without the housewarming.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
And his family. Where was did your family?
No, I guess this was just, like I said, it was just friends.
Oh, okay.
Invited friends or whatever. But my auntie, my thing was, that's my auntie.
Right.
And she's allowing this. So, from that, it kind of made us break apart.
Absolutely.
My auntie, of course. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt that her being my auntie, she should have had my back.
Right.
She should have had my back. Because I explained to her what had happened. But, that's a story for another time.
Right.
But anyways, I ended up telling him, like, you end up having this party and stuff, and I'm not even here. Like, this was supposed to be for us.
Right.
I got this house for us.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? That came from me, and, we end up going in after that, like, as far as we couldn't get it together as far as, so he was just like, you know what, I'm going to stay here, and you could just go stay. I ended up going to go stay with my mama. Maybe 2 days. I went to go stay with my mama. He ended up coming. He got ahead and ended up coming over there. So, remember, we only together for, I say I was with him for 2 years, but we was only together physically for 6 months. Because out of that 2 years, 14 months he was locked up.
Right.
So, now you're only counting this time.
Yeah.
Right? So, this 6 months, all this has transpired within that 6 months. Well, I'm going here. I'm going. How many? I think I done told y'all like 3 different places where I didn't stay with him.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm going through this transition with him because I'm down for him. I love him.
Right.
And this is the person I want to be with. But I'm also going through hell. I'm also going through hell with him. But I end up going to go stay with my mom. Situation happened where he ended up going to jail, and he ended up telling me that if I can go stay with his mama while he in jail.
Wait.
He needed somebody to look at.
He wants somebody to watch you.
While you.
Which I knew that's what it was. So he can keep an eye on me or whatever the case may be. I was okay with that because I had nothing to hide.
Right.
I wasn't trying to cheat on him. It wasn't
right.
Like that.
Even after everything happened, you were still showing loyalty towards him.
So he, I agreed to it. Like I said, I liked his mom. Me and her was okay and stuff like that. So I agreed to it. She ended up coming to get me. I ended up going over there. So every weekend, it was mandatory. Every weekend we going to go see him. No matter, he ended up going to like 5 different counties.
Yeah.
Because 5 different places had wanted him. So 5 different counties in that 14 months. Every place he went to, we was there. Every weekend. You know what I'm saying? We made sure he had everything he needed as far as having money on his books and stuff like that. Every visit was counted for. So throughout that time, I'm living in his mom's house. I'm going through pure hell.
With her? Because of her? Or?
No, he had a brother and sister. They was twins. And the brother liked me. And the brother was started putting his hands on me.
Wait a minute.
So
I wasn't prepared for that one right there.
Yeah, so the brother started putting his hands on me. He felt it was just something between them that I can't really just explain. But I never saw brothers who didn't love each other or like each other, and that's what type of relationship they kind of had. Like they was always at each other's neck.
Yeah.
So, and I never wanted to be a part of that, but I used to write him and tell him, like, hey, this is what's going on in this house. And I'm scared. Like, I have to literally lock myself in this room in order to feel comfortable.
And you were also scared to, like, leave because of him, because of the way he would do.
Right.
Oh,
So,
man.
and I used to explain to him, like, this is going on. I'm scared. They always asking me for money. They always taking my money. People stealing from me, so I'm living in this room, though. I'm staying in this room. I'm buying everything for myself. I'm taking care of myself while I'm here. And I was helping his mom, whatever she needed. Of course, I was helping her. But it was just like I was caged in. I was caged in there. Like, I couldn't do anything.
So, okay, so the brother putting his hands on you, that really threw me off.
Yeah,
like,
threw me.
For what?
He ended up pushing me. And it was all this came from because I didn't want to talk to him. He felt that I had needed to leave his brother alone and stuff like that, and it was just a whole big old argument. Well, he was like,
what the mama be doing? What was she? Where she be? What was she?
She wasn't there at the time, but I had ended up calling her and telling her about it. So she ended up coming to the house because I had to call the police on him because he like 6 feet something. Like
Oh my God.
He real strong. Of course, I'm scared. So I had ended up telling her or whatever what was going on. So she got on him and stuff like that. She ended up making him leave to go to her stay with her brother and stuff like that. Or whatever.
And was he older than you as well?
This was his little brother and sister. They probably was like, I could say probably like 18. They probably like 18 at the time. Yes.
No way.
Yes,
I can believe it though, cause my little brother bigger than me.
Yeah, he was very very tall. Like I said,
Yeah.
it was twins. It was a girl and a boy, but they was twins. And he just, I don't know what it was, but that was just the most craziest thing I ever experienced. Like, you know what I'm saying? Have to be at somebody's house and they putting their hands on me, you know, and I'm uncomfortable here. And I used to express that to him, like, okay, I'm only doing this for you. Like, I'm literally taking all of this because of you.
Yeah.
Want me here. But
And what was his response to that? What would he say?
He always had told me that once he come home, he was going to handle it. You know,
right.
He always told me that, like, once he come home, it was going to be handled and stuff like that. So, okay, I'm still there. I'm taking this, you know, day by day, month by month. You know, I'm writing him. We talking to each other. He making me these promises. Like I said, this is my first rodeo.
Yeah.
Never had been with somebody that been in jail.
Right.
You know, so this is my first rodeo. So of course I was leaving the jailhouse, lies. When I come home, I'm gonna marry you. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. It's gonna be all about you.
They love to do
you
it.
know, all these things. So of course I'm okay, cool. Like I'm ready. You know. And at this time I had been saving. So whenever he come home, he will be okay. I had ended up saving like $5,000 for him. I saved up to $5,000.
I can't do that for myself.
Can't do it right now.
Like I can't even do that for myself.
No, that's crazy though.
Wow.
Yes, I ended up saving that for him, and he ended up coming home. It was November 7th. No, I'm lying. It was November 6th. It was my daddy's birthday in 2014. November 13th. Yeah, November 14th. It was the 14th. 2014, November the 6th.
Okay.
He came home. It was my daddy's birthday. But so he came home. Of course, I'm happy. Like, you know, he ended up coming home, and the first thing we did, like, hey, it's time for me to get up out of here.
Yeah.
When I say I immediately, I already had been looking for an apartment. So the same day he came home, the same day we got an apartment. Like I had already had everything into place.
Yeah.
So he came home, you know, went shopping or whatever. Gave him this money. I gave him this money. This man ain't buy me a pair of socks. And my thing was, it kind of like just like what, you know, like, you know, I was just looking to see if he was going to buy me something.
Yeah.
Without me asking.
Yeah.
He never did. I never said nothing about it. I was just like.
So can I ask this though? When you were in a house with his family, what were you telling your family, like your dad, since your dad and his mama was cool, right? So what kind of relationship did they have when you were going through this? Like, did you let him know what was going on, or you just kind of kept it?
I never told my family anything. I never told them anything, especially not my dad, because I didn't want to mess their relationship up.
Ooh, people think like that.
Considering everybody else except yourself.
We do it a lot.
Yeah.
We do it a lot.
I never did that, and I had ended up finding out that his mama was actually telling his daddy that, but telling my daddy that. Like, I ended up finding out that she was actually doing that. Like, she was actually up there telling my daddy that her son was beating on me and stuff.
And your daddy didn't.
I don't know. I guess I don't know. I can't tell you what he actually thought, but I ended up finding out that he knew
that this was going on. So how did that make you feel, knowing that your dad knew and he didn't do anything?
I ended up finding out because my auntie ended up telling me that, and I ain't gonna lie, it broke my heart because it was just like, remember, I found all this out. This is all after the fact.
He could have saved you.
Right. So I'm just like, wow, he knew all this time. But that's not even the crazy part. So we just gonna. I'm gonna go.
We ain't even got deep yet.
That ain't even the crazy part.
Woo! Okay, let's go.
Pick it up a little bit better.
Okay.
Yeah, we need every part of the story.
Oh my goodness. So
for you.
He got out of jail. Y'all got an apartment together.
Apartment.
Okay, so
the same exact day.
Okay, so when did the abuse resume? Because it started before he went to jail, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so when did it resume afterwards?
Okay, so we got an apartment and stuff. We ended up getting, we fixed it up. We had this one little bedroom apartment. We fixed it up and stuff like that to our liking. And he started back like want to go out on the corner and go out in the street and stuff like that. I did notice that a lot of stuff changed with him from when he was out the first time. Like as far as attention wise, he wasn't around me like he was before he had left. You know what I'm saying? So I had noticed that like he always want to go somewhere, or he always had to do something. And one day the phone rung, and he was in the shower. So the phone rung. I answered it, and it was a girl. It was a girl. She was like, "Can I speak to I don't want to say his name.
Such a
Right.
such.
Can I speak to?
What's the
And I was
name?
just like, who is this? And then she was like, well, her name. And I was like, what you calling for? Like, who are
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
Who are you?
And she was like, who are you? I said, this is girlfriend. And she was like, oh, I didn't know he had a girlfriend. Because we've been talking since he, been in jail or whatever. And I worked up there. And I was like, what?
She worked at the jailhouse?
Yeah, she worked at the jailhouse or whatever. So I was like, what?
They be doing that for real.
Yes.
Yeah.
Having
Yes,
babies.
Yes. So I guess he must have heard me or whatever. So he ended up coming out. He ended up like a storm. Just came up out of the restroom and was like, give me my phone. What you doing? Woo woo. And I'm like, who is this? Like, who is this? I ended up saying her name. I'm like, who is this? And he was like, don't ask me no questions and stuff like that. And I'm like, hold on. Like I said, so you got a girlfriend already? I said, so basically all this been a lie. It's like all I remember saying those words. I ended up getting hit again. Well, knocked unconscious because I didn't remember. I didn't remember what actually happened. So, but I do remember that he ended up fighting me again or whatever. And when I got up, he wasn't there. And so of course I'm crying at home. I'm blowing his phone up. No answer. He ended up answering maybe like 11 something at night. He ended up answering the phone and was like, what's up? Like, what's up?
Like nothing happened.
Like
That's
I'm in the wrong.
sick.
Like I'm in the wrong. Like you had no business going through my phone, and I'm just like, I had no business going through your phone, but you got calling you while you with me.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
and we supposed to be together. Like
Right.
I've been holding you down. If I knew that you was gonna do this, I could have been out doing what I had to do. I could have been doing me all that time
Right.
while I was waiting on you. And it's like it seemed like every time I said something or spoke up for myself, it put me in harm's way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It was like every time I kind of spoke up for myself, something came with that.
Yeah.
So he ended up coming to the house. And it was crazy because he played it so smooth. He came to the house like everything was okay. Came to the house, fixed him something to eat, and he had this, I don't know what it was, but he was very weird. He had this problem where he used to walk around with no socks on, but one sock on his big toe, just one sock.
Hold
Not
on.
on both feet.
We not supposed to laugh.
But
We not supposed to be laughing about
This is a
this.
serious episode, but
right,
y'all know.
it was just weird, 'cause
Yeah.
so
I
many-
gotta
so
Google
many-
that one.
So that could have I used to be like, you just hear somebody
Like,
coming
why
down
you-
the hallway.
Yeah.
So he ended up coming out. Remember, I was asleep. So he ended up coming in the house. He ended up fixing some food or whatever. I ended up hearing the microwave. That's how I knew he was fixing food. So I go in there, and soon I go by the dining room. I'm just like, so where you been? And I don't even know why I asked that, but I wanted to know.
Yeah.
where he
Right.
been.
Yeah.
And it was just like, when I say he beat me,
Oh my
he
god.
beat me. That was like the worst time he ever beat
Oh
me.
my God.
Wow.
But he had beat me so bad, I had ended up in the corner of the dining area. I had ended up in the corner, and all I remember is like just covering myself, trying to defend, for him to stop hitting me in my face. That was, like I said, that was the worst ever. That was the worst beating he ever done to me, because it felt like it was hours. It felt like it lasted so long.
Yeah.
In my mind, it felt like he just couldn't stop. He just kept going. All I felt is just to a point where you just go numb.
It's probably because he didn't knock you out that time.
Right.
That's probably why.
Because I remember being balled up in that corner, and I remember just staying there. Like, I remember just staying in that position. You know what I'm saying? And just taking it. And of course, I was screaming and telling him to stop. But it was just the things he was saying to me. Like, I did, like, this is something that you done wrong to me.
Right.
Like, you done wrong to me. You cheated on me, and I'm the one that's getting beat for it. You get what I'm saying? So, of course, I end up getting up that next day or whatever. And when I say that, that was my first busted lip, my nose, I never had a black eye, but my lips being busted like the way it was, you know, I was just embarrassed of myself. You know,
Yeah.
I was embarrassed of myself.
Yeah.
And you know, he the thing used to get me is he showed no remorse. Like he showed no remorse to look at my face. Like, and I ended up saying that to him one day. Like, you the one that got to look at me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you the one that got to look at me, and this okay with you?
Yeah.
You know, it's really no feedback, no nothing. You know, nonchalant, no nothing to say. So cool. Like I said, that was kind of like the worst time he beat me. You know what I'm saying?
So after that, like, are you like, I need to leave? You still not like, I need to leave? This is not it?
No.
Still.
I actually still, my mind frame still wasn't there yet.
Yeah, it was
I
to be.
still was feeling like it was okay. Like, I still was feeling like,
wow.
This who you wanted to
like
be
it's
with.
something I can do better. What is it I can do
Yes,
better?
that's how they make you feel.
Yeah.
Like they make you feel like you're the problem.
Yeah, because
You're
I
the
was
reason
really
why it's
feeling
going
like,
on.
man, okay, you know what? Stop going through his phone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you
What
started
can I
trying to
do?
think of what else you could do better to stop this situation from happening.
And it's literally nothing. And that's what people need to understand. Like, it's nothing that you can do to stop a person from being who they really are.
Yeah.
You know? So the best thing to do is try to get out, which is not easy.
It's not.
Especially when in your mind, your mental state. That's really what, to me, from experience, is the mental state you have. That's what's keeping you there. It's not necessarily the person. Is once I get it out my mind that I'm done with this, then I'm good to go.
Yes,
You gotta
that's
get
so
it
true.
out your mind that you deserve better. Like you shouldn't be going through this. It's no way a man loves you and put his hands on you.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, no.
Yeah, I definitely had to learn that. That was a big lesson to me. I had to learn.
It's not love, licks.
That's not love.
Cause and then come on now, when you know our parents used to whoop us, I'm doing this out of love. No, I'm sorry, not to me. Even though you know there's a difference between discipline and then somebody just beating on you,
Yeah.
for no reason, and it's not.
Big difference.
It's not love. It's not love, and a lot of people confuse it with that. So, God, dog.
So after that incident, that was he said in the dining room or kitchen area.
Yeah, that ended up happening in the dining area,
Uh-huh.
and you know, I end up I kind of like end up giving him his space, like you know, as far as stop bothering him and, and stuff like that. Like I said, I kind of like fell back a whole lot, even though we still live in the same house. I just felt like it was stop picking or arguing with him.
Yeah.
Because nothing you say or do is going to change.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Of course, I noticed that. Hey, if you stop arguing or saying stuff, this won't happen.
Right.
So I did notice that to stop saying stuff. You know, I did know to, hey, be a mute. You got to be a mute with this person because it's certain things you can say without getting hit. You know what I'm saying? Even though that's not even who want to live like that.
That's what I was
Nobody.
gonna say. To live, you can't even say what's on your mind.
But
about
I
anything.
was young. I was
Yeah.
young, and I remember I'm in love. I'm in love.
Yeah.
I'm only talking about me because I don't know what he was, but I'm in love with this person that I know that's hurting me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in love, so I'm still choosing to take everything that he's giving. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I feel like, hey, if I take what he's giving, at least he's gonna love me back. And that's what my mind telling me.
Yeah.
So, do you feel like you was in love with that person or the person you met at your father's store? Like, do you feel like you saw him like getting back to that, like you wanted to see him get back to that person that you first met, or was it just?
No, I feel like I fell in love with the person who I met at my daddy shop that time, and I always thought that he would go back to that person.
Right.
I told you when he did come home, I did see the change in him. You know, because now he's more on social media, and remember, social media wasn't even a thought when I first met him because he fresh home. You know, so he ain't know nothing.
He wasn't worried about no social media. Yeah.
So this time around, you come home, you on social media, you Facebook, take this picture. Oh, how I look with this on, and you know what I'm saying? You see the change. Because he was really a really simple guy at first, but now he want to make sure how he dressed up, and you get what I'm saying? So it's something, and it's something that you actually telling me, but you're not telling me as far as with your words.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So of course I had noticed all that. I noticed all the changes, but I was still just stuck. I was stuck thinking like, okay, well, he know I love him. He know I'm here. So eventually
He'll get right.
Yeah. So
Yeah, man.
and that change never came. It wasn't even a week after that happened when he beat me that day in the kitchen. Where he actually had ended up leaving me. He ended up we was laying in the bed one night, and everything was good from my understanding. You know, we ended up laying down, going to sleep. And that morning we ended up waking up. We was talking. We was laying down talking, and he ended up telling me, you know how, and he said this to me a few times. You know how when you with someone and they say, you know, if you ever leave me,
I'm gonna kill you.
You know.
Oh, he said that out of his mouth.
Yeah, he said that a few times. Said that a few times. If I ever see you with somebody, I'd kill you. You get what I'm saying?
And y'all just having a regular convo.
A regular conversation. And you know, you smiling and thinking it's funny because you like, okay, this person loved me. This is why he's saying this. You know what I'm saying?
No, ladies. So, no.
Yeah, you know, of course it didn't click to me that he meant in that type of way.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking like, okay, he's saying this because he really loved me.
You know what I'm saying?
So he did end up mentioning that, but he also literally grabbed the phone, called my mama, put the phone on speakerphone. You know, my mama ended up answering the phone. Remember, I ended up telling y'all about this. This is what hurt me the most. He called my mama, and she answered the phone. She was like, "What's up, y'all?" And he's like, "Hey, Miss Angie, how you doing?" And she was like, "I'm good. What's up?" And he was like, "You know I love your daughter, right?" And she was like, "Yeah, what's going on?" You know, like she knew something.
Yeah.
And he was like, you know, I ain't never just really got a chance to experience my life, you know, and be single and stuff like that. Like, so, you know, I was calling you because I love Porsha. I really do love her. Like, she a good girl. She's a good woman. He say, but I just can't be with one woman no more. You know what I'm saying? And
you had to bring my mama
in. First of all.
Like, I literally just jumped up out the bed, like, because I was so furious and out of my mind because I couldn't believe that you called my mama and I'm sitting right here in this bed with you. You could have told me this. You didn't have to involve my mama.
Yeah.
And tell my mama this. So, you know, of course, you know how that made me feel as a woman.
Yeah.
Because you called another woman to tell that you didn't want to be with me. So that broke me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They broke my spirit. So of course I'm in the background and I'm screaming and yelling and I'm just like, you could have just told me this yourself. You didn't have to call my mama and tell my mama this or whatever. My mama was just telling me to calm down. You know, she was just like, if this person don't want to be with you, you know, don't beg them to be with
this right after he said
yes.
Insane.
It wasn't even hours. It was literally right after that.
Wow. Okay.
Right
Go ahead.
So, I ended up seeing he started getting up, and I'm just wondering, like, okay, he started getting up. He started packing stuff and putting stuff in the bags and stuff like that. And I'm just like, what you doing? He was like, I'm leaving. He was like, I'm leaving. And I said, why are you leaving? He was just, I just told you. He was like, I don't want to hurt you, so I'd rather just go on and leave. And of course, I was begging him. I was like, please don't leave me. Like, what you leaving me for? You know, why are you leaving me? What did I do? I kept asking him, like, what did I do? And he was like, man, I just said it. He was just like, man, Porsha, just understand, like, this is not what I want. He's like, I'd rather just let you go or whatever. So I'm trying to say everything I can, of course. I'm telling him, like, anything I can to try to keep him. So eventually I get a knock at the door. This is mama. His mama come knock at my door.
I'm tired of his mama.
She come to the door, and she was like, where my son at? Like, what? Like,
girl.
That's the first thing I said was, what? I was like, what you here for? She was like, I'm coming to get my son. And I said, so you called your mama? You had called your mama to come and get you?
He called
your mama
everybody mama.
This? You know, so
yeah.
This one time, I'm like, so your mama knew about this? And she was like, this your TV and her son? You need me to get your TV?
Disrespectful. I don't like her. What mama at?
Yeah, so I just was like, man. So she started unplugging stuff, and end up wrapping the TV up because it was his TV. He did purchase that TV, even though he purchased with the money that I gave. You know what I'm saying? So of course cool. I wasn't even tripping about that because I was still stuck on this man called my mama and leaving me. Like I was still really stuck on that. So
Yeah.
of course I'm acting the fool, trying to figure out like what can I do different to make him stay. It was nothing I can do. To
Nothing
make
you
him
can
stay.
do.
It was
Nothing.
nothing. I
Literally
could do to make him
nothing.
stay. So he ended up leaving me.
So he left.
That was it. So that was the end of y'all
That was the end
relationship.
of our relationship. That's the day he left me was. Hold on, he got home in November. It wasn't even a month. It wasn't even a month after he got home.
And spent
I
that
think
$5,000.
it was the next month. November, December. It was in December when he left me. He left me in December. I think December the 18th, if I'm not mistaken. It's in one of my. I have it
Written down.
paperwork, but I think it was like December the 18th when he actually had left me. So it wasn't even a month of him being home.
Oh wow.
But he had decided that he didn't want to do that. So of course I'm calling him. I'm blowing up his phone, and of course the first couple of times he did not answer, and he finally did answer. And it was like what you want? He started talking to me so disrespectful, like calling me all kind of bitches and hoes, and don't call his phone and all kind of stuff. Being very disrespectful to me. He was like, man, I just told you what I didn't want you no more. Like, and I'm like, you gonna tell me this? And he was like, I'm telling you this, and he just kept hanging up on me. So of course I'm heartbroken. I'm torn. I didn't know what to do. Like I didn't know what to do because all I could think about is how I sat here and wasted all my time living at your mama's house,
Going through hell.
Then I never told nobody about none of the stuff you've been doing to me. Like, and I literally got mistreated. Not by just your family, by you too.
Yeah.
So it hurted me. It hurted me to the core. So, I was in school. I was still in school. I had a job. I had everything going for myself. This is what I can actually say. Although I was going through all that with him, I had a lot of stuff going for myself.
Yeah.
Right.
So I couldn't believe that I didn't value myself at the time.
Right.
Like I said, I was young, but when I think about that now, like I could have anybody. Why was
Why
was you dealing with that?
Why was I even going through this at the time? Like you could have had anybody. You had everything for yourself. You get what I'm saying? And it's like I gave it to someone who didn't even
Deserve
it.
an inkling of it.
So
Yeah.
it was very hurtful, but it's like, how can you tell your heart not to?
It's hard.
Not to feel that. Yeah.
Not to
It's
feel for
hard.
that person. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was many reasons why I did love him, and it wasn't because it wasn't all because of all the bad things he done. All the bad things he done, it might have topped everything, but it was some good still in him that I still saw. You get what I'm saying? I still saw some good in him. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when I met him, I still saw that good.
Right.
A little bit of it. You get what I'm saying? Although I saw the change, I still saw some of the good in there.
Yeah.
And he did made me feel protected. You get what I'm saying? Like, of course, girls want that because I never had my daddy in my life to feel that. So, when you got it coming
So
from a
that kind of
man,
explains
so
the other part.
he kind of made me feel like he was my protector. You know
Yeah.
So after y'all broke up, right? Did you get into like what after that? What made him get to what?
So
what made him snap? Because
When
he left you.
When he left me, that probably was the best decision. Because those first 3 weeks, of course, turmoil. I was crying.
Yeah.
Heartbroken.
Heartbroken.
I'm going to work. Of course, remember my face still.
Oh yeah, because that wasn't too far.
Yeah, it wasn't. My face still messed up. So, I'm gonna just put, and I don't like to speak about Sierra. That's my angel, but I had already knew Sierra at this time. And only way I was always seeing Sierra because when I go to work, I would see him because he'll be hanging up there at the where I work at. Like he'll be hanging outside.
Still after y'all broke up?
No, Sierra was the guy he ended up killing.
Oh, okay.
So I would always see him up there, and this is the person who told me and showed me my worth. Like, hey, you don't let nobody. You get what I'm saying? This one, we talking about a person who way younger than me.
Yeah.
Sierra was, I think he was what, 22 at the time, 24. He was like 22, maybe 21, 22 years old. So Never been in a relationship with this man or nothing, but he was a friend. He was a shoulder. Like, he was there for me.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Especially when I was going through that.
You needed that.
I needed that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, I'm literally crying on this man's shoulder, telling him everything that I had just experienced. And he used to always tell me, like, you too pretty for that. Why are you letting a nigga put their hands on you? You know? And that gave me confidence. Like,
Yeah.
okay, he right about this. He right, don't do this no more. Don't do this no more. So, cool. So we end up clicking as far as we talking on the phone every day. I'm telling him, like, hey, I go to this school. Maybe you should go and try to see if you can get in. Because he was good. He knew how to fix things and stuff like that. And I knew that he was always in that plumbing area. So I was like, come work up here for the city. This is where I'm at right now. So I ended up getting him, introducing him to the lady who was over the program. So she ended up putting him in the program. And that was just a blessing for him. That was like one of the happiest days of his life. So she ended up putting him in the program. Now, we know that this person know where I go to school. He know where I work.
Right.
He know all these things. Now, all this time, I'm telling y'all that I'm freeing myself. I'm getting myself back together.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just speaking for the 3 weeks, because this is what January, February, December, January. So that probably was like, because it happened February 3rd. So maybe 5 or 6 weeks.
Okay.
At the most. Maybe 5 or 6 weeks at the most. Because I'm lying. You know what? It was like in the beginning of December when he left. Because it was like 2 months, maybe 2 months in between that before that happened.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah, it was like in the beginning of December when that happened. But I remember that me and Sierra, I ended up putting him in that school. And and I was his way to get there. Like, I would give him a ride there and stuff like that. So, like I said, we ended up clicking from that. And here we go. One day, I get my phone ringing. It's him. Remember, this person got me blocked. Because I ended up finding out he had me blocked because, of course, I was still trying to call and talk to him.
Yeah.
But this was during the time when I told you I was still going through that.
Yeah.
As far as the phase. And I get a phone call. And he's like, hey, Porsha, how you doing? And what? I'm good. Click. Just like he was, just like her.
Yeah. You don't got your confidence
we don't got
up.
Nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
We don't got nothing to talk about. So what happened was he ended up coming to the school. Where I was going. And all we heard was somebody just screaming down the hallway, Porsha, what Porsha at? And the counselor, her name was Miss Trina. She ended up saying, she was like, who is that out there? Because he did have go to this school one time, but he had been stopped going. It was just like a second chance.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So
Gotcha.
it was something like that.
Yeah.
So he did attend it for a while, but then he had just stopped. But so she kind of knew who he was. But so I was in a computer class, and I'm hearing. Of course, I know his voice, so I heard him. But I just hear him keep on saying my name. I ain't budge. I didn't move or nothing. And I heard Miss Trina though. She was like, what you screaming in my hallways for? And he was like, oh, hey, Miss Trina, I was just trying to see if Porsha was up here or whatever. And she was like, why? What you need with her? And he was like, I just need to talk to her. So at this point, I could see her talking to him out the windows because it was just glass windows. So she ended up telling me to come out. So we ended up coming out. I ended up coming out. And she called me out, and she was like, what is it that you need to talk to her about? And he was like, I just want to see if she can give me another chance. And she was like, Porsha, you want to be with him? And I was like, no, I don't. Like, this was the best face I ever had.
Yeah.
The confidence.
Yeah.
I really felt so good about myself when I said that. It was just like, no, I don't. And I could see, like, when I said that, you know how somebody just turn the rage.
Wow.
Like, the the tears didn't even roll down his face. They literally fell out his eyeballs. Like, they just fell.
Oh my god.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they just fell. And he was just like, what?
I'm sorry, because I'm picturing it.
This lady
Jumped out. Nah.
They jumped outward and down.
Yeah.
They just fell. And I was just like, I'm looking at this person while it's happening. So he was just like, what? He was like, what you mean? I was like, no, I don't want to be with you. So he had hit the door real hard.
Oh,
he had
Jesus.
hit the door real hard. And he was like, all right, bet. And Miss Trina was like, she was like, make sure you stay away, because she already kind of knew.
Yeah, what was going on.
Or whatever. And so she was like, just make sure you stay away from him, because you know that boy is crazy.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So, at this time, I'm up there. Sierra's up there. My mama already on the way to come and get us both. She ended up coming to get us. We ended up going to this place called Real Deal. Go get some snow cones and hot dogs.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Real Deal.
We ended up going over there, and we headed back to my apartment. So at this time, I would not stay at my apartment because he had been popping up.
Okay.
Oh,
So I
okay.
would not stay there, So I was only there to get me some clothes and stuff like that. So my mom ended up taking us by there. But I also was there to cook. I was going to cook some food and just pack it up and take it with me. So while we up in there sitting there, I had 25 missed calls. Of course, my phone was ringing the whole time while we was driving there, but I had never brought it to my mom and them attention until we got to the house.
Yeah.
So I had told my mama, I was like, I got 25 missed calls from him. It was from his mama phone, but that's the way
It was him. Yeah.
And so while we sitting up there talking, he ended up calling while we was talking. So my mom was like, answer that phone and put it on speakerphone. So I answered the phone. And he was like, Porsha. He was like, man, look, I got my mama right here. He's like, I got my mama right here, man. I'm telling you right here, you got my word. Like, man, I promise, like, you just give me one chance, just one more chance. I promise I'm going to do, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be the best this and, just keep going about what he's going to do different.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm good. Like I said, I don't want to be in a relationship with you. So his mama said, she was like, stop begging that hoe.
See, and I'm over here trying to knock out this lady a B word. I'm over here because I'm supposed to be a host or something and be respectful. But she 3 of them. Okay, keep going. Keep going.
I heard her immediately when I heard her, I hung the phone up. I hung the phone up. So my mama was like, don't answer that phone no more. So cool. I hung the phone up or whatever, and he continued to call. But I just stopped answering it. So I continued on what we was doing. So it was kind of like finna start getting dark. So my mama, she don't drive in the dark. So she had told Sierra, she was like, if you want to ride, come on, I'm finna go right now or whatever. So I told him, I was like, okay, well, when I finish cooking, I'm gonna bring the food down there. Cause he just stayed right down the street from me. He didn't stay too far. So it was like walking distance or whatever. So he was like, okay, cool. So by 9:00, I get a knock at my door, and it's Sierra. It was Sierra at my door. So it was strange to me. Remember I told you that? It was strange because he came to my door. He had a backpack on his back. So I opened the door. He was like, Porsha, you mind if I spend the night over here? And he looked so sad. He looked like something happened.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Something happened. And in my mind, just saying no. But I couldn't say no.
Yeah.
I couldn't say no because I don't know what's going on with him.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with him. So I was like, yeah, come on. I was like, come on, come in. And I was like, you okay? He was like, I'm going to tell you about it or whatever. So he was like, you mind if I take a shower? I was like, yeah, that's fine. I say, you hungry? You want something to eat? He was like, nah, I'm good right now. I say, well, I did cook this food for you and your mama so we could take it down there. He was like, nah, she good. You know what I'm saying? I kind of like, when he said that,
they must have got into it or something.
Yeah.
I kind of knew something was going on. So he did. He ended up taking a shower. And he was like, it's okay if I watch Animal Planet? That's the type of person he was. And I was like, yeah. So, of course, I sat there and I watched it with him. I fixed us some plates. And we just sat there and we just talked. Like, we talked about everything. He talked to me about his childhood and when he expressed to me about his childhood, like I was literally in tears, like because he had got raped by his uncle when he was young, and it was just a heartfelt moment, you know what I'm saying? So we just having a heart to heart, we talking to each other. He had never told me why he here, you know. He had never told me why he here. He never told me that, and you know, we end up talking to maybe 3:00 in the morning, and I'm like, man, I gotta go to sleep, you know. I gotta get up in the morning. My mama gonna be here at 6:00. And he was like, cool. And we ended up going to sleep. My phone ended up ringing. I think at 6:05, and it was him. It was back again calling. He was calling. I had missed calls and everything, and I was like, hello. He was like, hey, Porsha, let me take you to go get some breakfast. And I was just like, I don't need you to go get me no breakfast. You know, first off, I'm just getting up, so of course I got an attitude, you know. So I'm like, I don't need you to go get me no breakfast. I don't need you to do nothing for me.
Right.
And he was just like, who you think you talking to like that? So I hung the phone. I hung
up. Yeah.
I hung up. And he called back again. He was like, so you gonna let me take you to go get some breakfast or whatever? And I said, I don't need you to do nothing for me. I'm good. Hung up. And hung up. He called back again. He continued to keep calling back. So that one time I did not answer. He ended up leaving a voicemail on there. On the voicemail. I didn't play it right then because he ended up calling again. So when he ended up calling again, I answered, and he was like, let me take you to work. And I'm like, I don't need you to take me to work.
Yeah.
I don't need you to take me to work. I don't need you to do nothing for me. We are not together. It's like, soon I said that, he just went left. He was like, bitch, you got me fucked up. You think you're, just going off on me. And I just hung the phone up because I didn't have to sit there on the phone and listen.
Yeah, no, you don't.
You know, so I ended up playing the voicemail because it was still on the front. You know, Androids, they sit on the front of you.
Yeah.
So I ended up pressing the voicemail, and the voicemail was like, he just was going off, was like, bitch, I'm on my way. I'm finna kill you, ho. You got me fucked up. You think you finna play with me? And the voicemail playing, and Sierra right here. So he's listening too. And I just, once it stopped playing, I was just like, man, this boy right here. Sierra was like, I ain't gonna let nothing happen to you. You good, Porsha. And I was like, that's not the point. The point is he can catch me by myself. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was expressing to Sierra. I was like, the point is he can catch me by myself, and then what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I said because he do put his hands on me or whatever. He was like, I'm not gonna let that man put his hands on you. You think I'm gonna just sit here and let that happen? I was just like, that's I was kept trying to explain to him that wasn't the point, about that. But so somebody started beating at my door. And start talking. He started saying, Porsha, I know you in there because I can see the polish on the stove. I can see right through these blinds. I see the polish on the stove. I know you in there. So I'm telling Sierra, I'm just like, Sierra had got up off the bed. He was just like, man, I'm finna whoop this nigga. I'm finna whoop him. And I was just like, please. I said, please, this has nothing to do with you. Like, just don't do it. I said, please, just stay in here. Don't even worry about him. You know what I'm saying? I said, he gonna go away or whatever. So he's still at this door. He knocking real hard, steady talking. Like, Porsha, open the door. Open the door. And I was like, I never said nothing. I just kept doing what I was doing as far as getting myself together. So at this time, I'm probably like fully dressed now. I'm fully dressed. I end up walking into the in the living room area. Remember, this is the same apartment that happened in. So this is the same apartment. I end up walking into the living room, and on the bar I had this mirror. Well, so I'm unwrapping my hair. I'm unwrapping my hair, and I just heard this pop, and it was loud, like a shot.
Yeah.
So it of course it scared me. So when I looked over, it was him. He was coming through my window, but I saw a leg, and he had some steel toe boots on. So the way he came in, all I saw was the feet. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All I saw was that, and I just literally just stood there. Crazy part is, at this time when I'm unwrapping my hair, I had just put my phone down. It was 7:02, so I knew what time it was at the time when he came in. And didn't see no knives in his hand, didn't see nothing. I don't remember anything other than him coming in there, and racing towards me. And the first thing he did when he came in there was He was like, bitch, why you answering your motherfucking phone? And he just, like, I just saw somebody just coming towards me like this, but I'm not noticing that he's stabbing me at this
Oh
time.
my God.
Jesus.
Until I fell backwards. And once I had fell back, that's when I realized I was being stabbed. So, of course, I'm screaming. I'm like, he's stabbing me, help me, help me. You know, I'm just screaming, help me. And, of course,
Sierra gonna come out.
no, you would think, I thought that me screaming would have, of course, because that's anybody reaction, that somebody screaming, they help, somebody going to come out and help. So in my mind, just me screaming all this time, because time has passed and I'm still screaming, and Sierra never came out. So in my mind, it just kept playing like, where's Sierra? You know, so I'm just thinking to myself, maybe he's scared. You know, maybe he's scared, you know, to come out or whatever. But he had never came out. He had never came out until, like, he was already cutting open my stomach at this time. By the time Sierra did come out, this is at the time where I can't even scream anymore. But what happened was, by him sitting on top of me, because he sat on my lower area while I'm down, and by him sitting here, you know, I'm starting to lose consciousness. So I end up turning my head, which first I was facing him because I'm in defense posture or whatever. So after my hands ended up falling back, I ended up turning my head. So of course I took my focus off of him. So I guess by me taking my focus off of him and looking that way, he ended up, all I saw was, when I looked that way, I just saw Sierra just coming out the room. You just basically see like a silhouette just walking. You know what I'm saying? And I saw him, but he had like his hands open. He had his hands open. And I don't know if he was like literally trying to grab him off top of me. I don't know what he thought he was going to do. You know what I'm saying? But I just saw him coming out real slowly and had his hands open like this or whatever. And by the time he didn't even make it to him, but he made it close enough to him for him to stab him. You know what I'm saying? So Sierra was a tall person too. Bae was short, but by him sitting on top of me, remember, that made him lower. So he ended up spotting him, and he said, bitch, you got a nigga in here? And like, he literally like had swung the knife, like from having on me, but swung it. Well, the one time he swung it, it went in his abdominal. And when it went in his abdominal, he turned it. You know, he turned the knife in him. And Sierra grabbed his side, and he was like, bro, you stabbed me. And he had fell to his knees, and then he fell on his face. And he got off top of me, and he grabbed him. In that same window that he came in, he dragged him to that window. And Sierra was your color, so he literally stomped his face like 44 times with those same steel-toe boots. He stomped him. Like, literally back and forward, just kept stomping and stomping and stomping. He was like, you over here trying to, she belonged to me. That's all, basically everything you could say, he was saying to him.
Yeah.
Like, about saying I belong to him. And, you know, he ended up catching me seeing. He ended up catching me looking at him. So he came back, he was like, bitch, you not dead yet? And,
oh my God.
He came to me, and he grabbed me by my head, which, you know, he grabbed up and turned my body. So he turned my body around. Well, this time I'm laying on my stomach, and he started stabbing me in my back, which I felt those stabs in my back, even though my body had kind of went numb. I felt him stabbing me in my back, and he ended up stabbing me in my back. Like, stabbed me 5 times. I was stabbed 5 times in my back, but he ended up going up to my head. And that's when he tried to cut my head off. Like, he literally, you know how you just see somebody having a tough time, so they bite in their lip. And that's exactly what he was doing. Like, it was God. Like he was having this tough time because he just kept going all around. He just kept trying to go around my head. Like, all I see is he kept doing my head like this. Like, so blood is just constantly gushing down in my face. But I'm literally alert. I'm alert and basically can tell everything that happened to me. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna lie, when I say I was praying.
Listen.
Like, I was literally praying. I was just telling God, like, please don't let this man kill me. Like, don't let this man kill me. That was my only thing I can say, you know, is don't let this man kill me. So he he ended up getting off of me, and when he got off of me, he kind of like stepped back. He stepped back, like I guess to see me. He stepped back and he looked at me, so he ended up picking up my arm. He picked up my arm. He checked my pulse, but I flinched. So when I flinched, he just started stabbing me again. He kind of like jabbed me in my neck with the knife. Like he just started stabbing me and I was just like, God, this man is finna kill me. Like he's literally trying to kill me. So this is what I'm literally saying. I'm saying these words in my mind that this man is trying to kill me. Do whatever you have to do to take my breath away because he's going to kill me.
Yeah.
So that second time when he checked my pulse, he didn't get a pulse. Like I know he didn't get it because it's the way he started checking me. Like he literally checked my neck. He checked my arm again. He checked the other arm. Like he literally was checking to see if he got something. So he stepped back. He stepped back again, and he the same steel toe boots. He took them off. He was in his socks at this time, and he just got him on top of my head. Just walked, stomping me like this.
No way.
Yeah, he just going like this up and down my body, just all on my back, on my feet, my legs, and everything. Walked back up. He came back up on him, and just doing this in his socks. When I say socks, all this was at the crime scene. Like all this was on the at the trial. Like I literally saw this with my own eyes. So like he literally on my head, everything. Just I don't know what he called himself doing. I don't know if he thought maybe this could make it kill her faster. Maybe make the blood out. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know what it was, but that was very weird that he done that. And he put them same boots back on, and he started walking towards the kitchen area. And the only reason why I knew he had went in the kitchen because of water. He had turned the water on. And I guess maybe he was washing the knives or something because when he came back, it was dripping.
The nigga gonna do dishes?
He came back and had a hoodie on. He had a black hoodie on. He put him inside his jacket pocket. And I ain't gonna never forget the words he said. He said, now y'all can have each other. Nah, I'm saying all this because this whole time that this whole incident is going on, the 17 minutes.
That's all it was?
17 minutes of terror where he's killing us. Basically, the ambulance and fire department was on the porch the whole time.
What? The story don't get.
Wait. So somebody had already called.
Mm-hmm.
But what you mean the
maintenance man had called?
They didn't think to come in?
They said that since the police wasn't there, they couldn't do anything because they had nothing to protect themselves.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
And the police excuse was it was shift change.
So they took their time getting there.
Mm-hmm. This man literally opened the front door. He opened the front door. The people were sitting right there. They waited till he walked all the way down though. He walked all the way downstairs, got in the car, sat there. He didn't leave until the police actually came. But he got in the car and sat in the car. I don't know what he was doing at the time, but I remember them telling this is what he did. So the first time when the first person who came in was a Hispanic guy, and he came in and all I heard was, "What the fuck? Like, it's blood everywhere." Like he said, "It's blood." He said, "Is that her intestines?" Like I just heard all of that, and he was coming down towards me. At this time I didn't say anything. So when he came down towards me, and I had said, I was like, "Don't help me, please." I say, "Help him, please." And I scared him. He was like, "No, ma'am, we got to get you out of here. Like, we got to get you out of here. Your intestines hanging out." And I was like, "I'm okay." I said, "I'm okay. Please don't." I said, "Please just help him. Please just help him." Mm-hmm. And they was like, "Who is that? Who is that that did this to you?" I said, "That's my ex-boyfriend." I told him his name, address, everything they needed at that time.
His mama name.
I'm talking about everything. I told him everything they needed at the time. And, they end up respecting my wishes as far as trying to get up out of there and help him or whatever. But because I can still hear Sierra grunting.
Oh, okay.
So that was my whole purpose of telling them to help him, because I just saw the blood just kept, coming out his mouth. But he was just, like all I heard was pain.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I didn't care nothing about myself. I just wanted them to get him out of there because I felt like he could have been still saved. I only knew at this time about that one stab wound.
Right.
I didn't find out that he was stabbed 2 more times until after the situation. And when I found that, I couldn't believe it. But he was stabbed twice in the chest too. But I didn't see that.
Right.
Yeah.
I can only say what I saw. You get what I'm saying? But from the from the autopsy and stuff like that he was stabbed twice in the chest too. So it was heartbreaking to find that out, that he done that to him. You don't know this man, never seen him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it hurted me because, and I used to blame myself so much because, like, if I would have just said no, if I would have just said no, that he couldn't spend the night, but then it was just like, how can you tell somebody no when, he kind of looked like he need me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he was going through something. And come to find out, his mama had put him out that night. So that was what broke me the most.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it was just like, damn, of course I had blamed myself, but I had to come.
Yeah.
I had to understand, like, that wasn't my fault.
It wasn't.
And he did put his life on the line for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, and I tell people this all the time, that man could have stayed in that room. And
under the bed.
He could have stayed in the room, and that man would have never went there. Because he came there for me.
Yeah.
He came for me. I was his target. He didn't want nobody else but me. He would never knew he was in there.
Right.
He didn't go walking around the house or nothing. He stayed exactly where I was at, in that living room. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So Sierra could have hid out in the bathroom, in the closet, wherever he wanted to. But he made a conscious decision to come out and try to help me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I tell people this all the time. Like, he literally put his life on the line for me. So I'm forever grateful to him.
Right.
That took a lot away from me. I wouldn't even be right here to tell this story right now.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for him. You get what I'm saying? So, he gonna forever be my angel, my hero, everything you could call it.
Yeah.
So I just feel like that's probably was the reason God put him in my life. But I never had any type of relations with him. He just was somebody who was
A good friend.
Yeah,
Just
a friend. Yeah.
Man, so that was a lot. Okay. It was a lot. And for you to be sitting up here telling that story without crying.
Girl, it still bothered me. But
right,
it don't bother me to, I try to hold back on
Right. You are very, very strong.
Resilient. And I think, like, even, I feel like it shows what type of heart you have, because even literally you're about to die and you still thinking about somebody else. You still like, no, check on him, no.
Right.
And I just feel like that's how you know you got God in your life. Seriously.
Wow.
So, I mean, I do want to touch on, before we wrap up, I do want to touch on, like, how you got through that, because I know you had a long recovery process and probably had to learn to walk again and all of that. So what was that like, real quick?
It was pretty hard. It was pretty hard because, when somebody come in there and telling you that you paralyzed, you're not able to walk again, that changed your life forever. You know what I'm saying? Especially when they tell you you'll never walk again. You get what I'm saying? So, of course, that changed my life. And I did leave out the hospital with that thought that I was never going to walk again. But it was just something. It was something about that didn't sit well with me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I went through therapy and everything, and that didn't do nothing for me. But I just couldn't live my life with not trying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the biggest thing I done was I closed myself out to the world. I locked myself in the room, maybe about 8 or 9 months, literally. I'm living at my mama's house, but I'm in my room, not coming out, not seeing nobody, didn't want to see nobody.
Yeah.
Because I just wanted to work on myself. And that whole time I was in there learning, getting my muscles to work. When I tell you, it's just I started feeling stuff out of nowhere, and it was painful, of course, because you remember all this started coming to the feeling. So once that happened, I was like, oh yeah, I got hope.
Yeah.
And not only that, I'm praying. When I tell you, I'm praying, I got my relationship with God.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, of course, a lot of things was going on at the time. So I was just like, you know what? I got this. And I had a best friend. Who's paralyzed. You know what I'm saying? So we both at the time, it was crazy because we both at the time was paralyzed together.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So I used to be like, well, if I know I do it, I did it. I know she can do it. You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of like another motivation too, because I knew what she went through.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I didn't want to be that way. You know what I'm saying? So I never gave up. I never gave up. I always, it's like, I think it's a mind thing.
Right.
It's a mind thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's a mind thing. If you tell yourself that you're going to do this, you're going to do it. If you tell your legs start working again, they're going to start working. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you got to put in
put the work in to do it.
It
but
don't just happen overnight, but it's going to happen if you want it to happen.
Wow. Oh my God. And then having to go through like trial and stuff too, and seeing him again. How was it like seeing him?
I ain't gonna lie, I was so scared. I was so scared. At first I was trying to back out of it, like as far as, because I was so scared to face him. Of course, you know, that's like a monster. You know what I'm saying? So of course I was scared to face him at first, so I kept trying to make every excuse in the book as far as not going. But I had ended up finding my confidence again, like I told you.
Thank God, yeah.
At this time now I'm walking.
Yeah.
So of course, and then when the trial was supposed to happen, you know, we ended up having Harvey. So that's what pushed the trial back a little further. So at first I was scared, and I wasn't walking at the time.
Yeah.
But once Harvey happened and it got pushed back, I was ready when they was ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So once that happened, I was ready. So when I end up seeing him, crazy part, let me tell y'all how I end up seeing him. You know how they end up having a trial at the child support court. I know you going downtown. They end up having it at that building. So I end up going. Soon we get there, me and my mama, we going on the elevator. He's coming out the elevator.
What?
He's coming out the elevator. You know, we got 2 laws in front.
Yeah.
So 2 laws in front, 2 laws in back. And he
Wow.
but he's different now because he's bald headed.
Yeah.
He's bigger. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know that was him.
Yeah.
We right here to each other, like literally face to face. This is the same person.
And you didn't know it was him until what, you got into court?
Until I got till we went upstairs.
But I bet he knew who you was,
Yeah,
though.
I'm sure he knew
Wow.
who I was. Yeah, that was the crazy experience ever. I was just like, wow, I said he was just in my face.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that kind of beat my fear too. Like, yeah,
you already done
Yeah,
dealt with
I
it.
saw him. Okay, I got this.
I got this. I'm not scared.
Man,
But
so
the most thing was standing up there and telling, testifying and telling him what he done to me. You know, that trial was very, very, very heartbreaking. I wish they would have televised it because I wanted that to be seen.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I guess because the court stuff was still going on as far as the flooding and stuff. A lot of people couldn't be there, but it was a very, very touching moment because when I was up there and I was telling what he done to me, it wasn't a dry eye.
Oh, listen.
And we talking about him.
I believe.
He was in there crying. So he ended up putting his head down. The judge told him, if you don't pick
your head up. Yeah.
Like, he stopped the whole courtroom. He said, I'm sorry for cut you off, but pick your head up and look at her.
Wow.
Like, he had to look at me. So I was just like, I felt strong.
Yeah.
I felt strong. Like, yeah, you're going to see this.
Yeah.
And when I walked up out of there, like, leaving off that bench, and he literally had to see me walking off. Yeah, you ain't do nothing to me.
Yeah. Nope. I'm still here.
Still standing alive and
so
well. Wow.
I was happy. Like, that was the best thing, to actually face that. That was a fear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Facing your fears.
Yeah.
Man.
So, I guess, like, real quick, what advice do you have for anybody who may be in a situation and they don't know how to get out, or they stuck? What would you tell them?
That part is something that I'm still working on,
Okay.
because a lot of people come to me about how to get out of the situation.
Yeah.
Remember, I didn't get out of my situation, and that's why that happened to
Mm-hmm.
me. So it's like, I can't really just say do this and do that, because it's like, remember, it's the hardest thing to do.
Right.
Yeah.
It is.
Situation. You know what I'm saying? You could tell people, you know what I'm saying? You could ask for help, but it's still hard.
Yeah.
It's still hard
gotta-
no matter what. It's still going to be a hard situation, because you don't know what these people thinking.
Exactly.
You don't know what they thinking or what their motive is.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Then you involve people and your people get hurt.
Yeah.
What right answer do you
So
have?
it's really not a right
Yeah,
answer.
there's no right answer.
Man.
So I try my best not to, even though people come to me, I try my best not to say the wrong thing. And I just explain to them, like, hey, it's not that I don't know. It's I don't want to give you the wrong advice.
And
Right,
something
'cause
happens.
when people try to leave, they get killed for trying to leave.
Right.
Yeah,
so
you
it's
don't
some
want
way
that
they
on
find
you.
right. You don't want that on your conscience. Dang, man.
See, we just saw a guy kill a girl for trying to help her friend. He
That
killed
I
too.
did see that,
the
yeah.
dog, like
The dog too.
the dog too. He killed the girl and the dog, and he didn't kill the dogs. Killed him, but he killed the girlfriend that came over there to try to help, and killed the dog outside the apartment. Like,
Ooh.
Yeah, no.
and that's just from trying to help. You know,
And
so
that's
we see
why
this
a lot of people don't. That's why a lot of people don't want to get involved.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah, it's a sticky situation, man. I just pray
Definitely.
if anyone's going through it that y'all get the strength to leave, or I just hope somebody could, I don't know, come and save you or something. I don't know. I remember on Instagram a few months ago, or was it last year? I was saying, and the way I was thinking because of a situation that I had been through, like, really no one can save you but you.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
You
it.
know, you don't want to wait too late because, like, even in your situation, he left you but still came back for you. So that makes no sense to me. But you don't want to wait too late. But, like, I just feel like can't nobody save you but you. Like, you just gotta try to find your way out. And hopefully somebody can come along and save you. Hopefully they have the resources to get you out of there.
Yeah.
But
But never tell them that you're leaving them. Never.
Just do it.
I always tell people that's the worst thing to do. Don't never tell a person that you're leaving them.
okay.
Because telling them that motivates them to do.
Yeah.
act on it.
Yeah,
You know what
to
I'm
go
saying?
ahead and get it up.
Not saying lead them on, but don't never say out of your mouth that this is what I'm finna do. Because at that moment, you don't know what their mind gonna
Right.
gonna say or make them do. You know what I'm saying? So I always say, don't never, if you gonna leave somebody, don't say it, don't tell them, don't give them the heads up.
Yeah.
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 If you give them the heads up, they coming for you.
Just do
Especially
it.
if you give them saying you're going through something already with them.
Yeah.
So,
Man.
but I pray for every woman because it's just so much we could do, it's so much we could take, and it's like these guys can issue all this stuff out to
Yeah,
us. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
But once we do anything,
They can't take
they
it.
can't.
They
take
can't
it.
take it. They cannot take it. And I do want to state that, men get abused as well, and we
Yes.
do know that. And it's
Most definitely.
neither one of them are okay.
Yes.
If everybody just keep their hands to themselves.
Everybody.
Yeah, and get out your go get your mind right, because that man was not mentally stable
Right.
from when he was wearing one sock on your big toe. I'm sorry, okay. But I do want to give the National Domestic Violence Hotline number. It is 800-799-7233. Call and get some help, y'all.
Yeah.
Call and get some help, man.
Well, that was a lot. That was heavy.
It was.
But thank you, Porsha, for coming on and sharing your story. I'm really hoping that this touches somebody, and it just brings awareness to our subscribers and whoever else watches, because this is a serious issue, and it's a lot of people that's probably suffering in silence
Right.
and feel like
Right.
nobody can relate to them. Nobody's been through this,
Tell
and so I'm
somebody.
glad you're here as an example of somebody who has been through that and has survived that. So thank you for coming.
Thank
No
you.
problem.
Thank
Thank y'all
you.
for having me.
Yes, yes. This has
Thank
been
you,
great.
God. She's
Thank-
still here to
listen.
tell her
you,
story. Because you
Jesus.
can't tell me there wasn't nobody.
Nobody
For him
but
to
God.
not find a post after you prayed that prayer and after you talked to God about it.
Especially when he all over my body trying to find one.
Yeah. There ain't nobody. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. All right.
Ooh,
Well,
y'all.
thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the Easy on Me podcast. We will see you next time.
We will see you next season
Next
for real,
season.
y'all.
This is a-
This ain't no more special episodes.
This
We had
is,
to.
this is a special episode.
That's
Yes.
it. We'll see y'all next season. We going harder, and we're gonna have some more fun with this thing. Thank you guys for the support. Bye.
Bye.